everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you for our engagement series, Tech Talks. My name is Natasha Girk, and I'm a Community Relations Specialist in the USCIS Office of Citizenship, Partnership, and Engagement, Public Engagement Division. Joined by several colleagues from the Digital Services Division of the Office of Access and Information Services Process Improvement Team, we're looking forward to engaging with you on filing online. As a reminder, the information we're sharing today is not intended for media attribution, and it does not constitute legal advice. If you'd like to find out about future engagements, please visit the National Engagement webpage at uscis.gov/outreach. We'll add a link to the webpage in the Q&A box. You can also subscribe to public engagement via email to get updates, including engagement invitations. This engagement is being recorded, and we will publish it in the electronic reading room on our website. I'll drop links to access this information in the Q&A as well. During our presentation, you can submit questions using the Q&A box located at the top right side of your screen. And now I'd like to hand things over to Quinn Andrus.
I want to say thank you to everyone for joining us today. My name's Quinn Andrus. If you've been to our previous Tech Talks, then you know who I am. I'm an engagement and outreach specialist, and I work in the Office of Access and Information Services, and that's part of the USCIS External Affairs Directorate. Today, we're going to answer questions that were in the last Tech Talk that we didn't get to, and other questions that have come in through our mailbox. We're going to review the latest addition to online filing, and that's the ability to upload a PDF version of Form I-765, Application for Employment Authorization, for a limited number of categories. There are a lot of details. I would suggest that you don't start asking questions now because I have a video to show you that goes over everything, and probably your questions are answered in the video. After that, and some more questions, we're going to review how to find assistance, and then we'll have your live questions. Our newest online filing option is a PDF intake. That's what we're calling it. And it's limited to a select number of categories in the Form I-765, Application for Employment Authorization. Users will be able to also submit a PDF of Form I-912, the request for a fee waiver, or a written request for a fee waiver. At this time, PDF intake is only available in the individual account. Legal representatives will not be able to use PDF intake from their accounts in this first phase. We are adding it in the second phase, or at least it was in the plan and we're hoping to. I don't want to make promises. The online process soft launched, so you might have already seen it. It soft launched on September 9th. The official launch is today, and I hope that you received the comms that went out. The national engagement for this process will be on October 31st. So now I have a video. It's going to go over in great detail all the steps in the process, and I'm not going to say anything about it right now. Watch the video before you submit questions in the chat. That's all I ask. As part of ongoing efforts to improve customer experience and expand online intake initiatives, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services has introduced a PDF filing option for certain applicants seeking employment authorization documents, EADs. Non-citizens with a pending asylum application, parolees, temporary protected status applicants and beneficiaries, and certain non-citizens with a pending adjustment of status application now have the option of applying for a work permit by uploading and filing a PDF version of a completed Form I-765, Application for Employment Authorization. These EAD applicants can also file a PDF version of a completed Form I-912, Request for a Fee Waiver, a form USCIS previously only accepted through the mail. The first step for applicants is to download the PDF Form I-765 and the Form I-912 if you are requesting a fee waiver. Forms can be found by going to the USCIS homepage at uscis.gov. At the top of the toolbar, select Forms. You will see a link to the Form I-765, Application for Employment Authorization. When you click on that, you'll see notices about the latest updates and a link to the online filing portal. Scroll past that and go to the drop-down for Forms and Document Download. You will see 3 links: the Form I-765, Step-by-Step Instructions, and a Form I-765 worksheet. We strongly recommend that you read through the instructions before beginning to fill out the I-765. When you are ready, select the link to the form. Your computer might be different, but when I opened this form, I needed to download it to the desktop to be able to fill it out. Filling the form on your device makes it more legible and easier for the system to scan and intake. However, you can download the form and fill it out by hand if you wish. After I have downloaded the form to my desktop, I can easily direct my cursor or tab to the fields I want to fill in. You should take your time and go in order, field by field. Depending on your eligibility category, not every field will need you to provide an answer. If you have questions about your eligibility category, refer to the instructions. You will be able to add your electronic signature during the online filing process. We will go over that in this video. If you wish, you can print the form, then sign and date and upload it to the device that you are going to use to submit your PDF, but that is not required. When you are finished, you can save your form to your device. Be sure to give your saved PDF a clear, understandable title. If you are requesting a fee waiver, you may use these same steps to download and fill out Form I-912. You also have the option to submit a written request instead of Form I-912. Be sure to read the instructions for the form as well as all the other form filing tips on our website. Also, remember to sign your Form I-912 or your written request for a waiver. The system will attach an electronic signature to the Form I-765, but not to the Form I-912. A missing signature is the most common reason that forms are rejected. When it is time to upload your PDF, you will sign into your online account or create one if you haven't already. There is an excellent video on the USCIS YouTube channel that will show you how to create an online account. There are also videos on how to manage your online account and how to update your address if you move. You can find all of them at this link, which we will include in the list of resources at the end of this presentation. After signing into your online account, you will select File a Form, either from these tiles if your account is new, or from a drop-down menu at the top toolbar if you have used your account for other forms. In the File a Form drop-down menu, you can scroll to Form I-765. Then a second drop-down menu will open, and you will select your eligibility category. The category you choose from the drop-down menu must match the one that you put on your PDF. If you have chosen an eligibility category that is available for PDF intake at this time, you will see this screen offering you the PDF intake option. If you have selected a category that is not available for PDF upload, you will not see this screen, and you can fill out the form in the online account instead. We will select PDF upload. All of the forms available to file online begin with 2 pages of notices. Please read everything carefully. When you begin a form online, we will save your draft for 30 days. You can log out, and when you return, your draft form will still be here. If you do not log into your online account and work on your form, after 30 days of inactivity, we will delete it and you will have to start again. You will see your eligibility category again, and there will be reminders to guide you. Each category has slightly different reminders, so be sure to read them carefully. The next question is about your ability to pay the filing fee. If you choose no, you will immediately see information about requesting a fee waiver. You can go to this link to see additional information about filing a fee waiver. Depending on your situation, you will need to upload specific types of evidence. You can find a list of that evidence and everything else you need on this page. You will upload either your Form I-912 or your statement requesting a fee waiver. You can drag and drop your PDF or statement into the uploader or choose it from where it is saved on your device or computer. The system processes it, then you will choose the appropriate tag to describe the file. Next, you will upload evidence to support your request for a fee waiver. You will be able to upload as much evidence as you need. Please read the file upload requirements. The system will not accept Word documents, and each file size must be no larger than 12 megabytes. You can submit documents in a foreign language, but if you do that, you must also upload a full English translation as well as the translator's certification for each original document. File names must use English language characters and can contain numbers, spaces, periods, hyphens or dashes, underscores, and parentheses. Do not use number signs, do not use @ symbols, and do not use other special characters. If your evidence won't upload and the error message is only English language characters accepted, you need to revise the title and make sure it follows these guidelines. You can upload as many files as you need, so continue uploading until you have everything. If you don't upload all your evidence, it might result in a rejection of your application or a delay in processing. Next, you will upload your PDF form I-765. It might take a few minutes for the system to verify that your PDF is valid and matches all requirements. You can continue to upload evidence while you are waiting for the validation. The status will say pending while this occurs. Depending on your eligibility category, you might see different evidence suggested than what you see here. The evidence you uploaded a moment ago was in support of your fee waiver request. This evidence is in support of your I-765. Just a reminder, if you do not submit your evidence with your initial filing, it might slow down the processing of your case. If you skip one of the suggested evidence categories, the system will remind you with a yellow alert like this one. The yellow alert is just a reminder. It does not stop you from continuing. If you have evidence to provide that is not in this list, you will be able to upload it. It's not in this view, but when you go online, the last item on this list will be additional evidence. That is where you will upload evidence that doesn't clearly fit in one of the other categories. Be sure to use a descriptive file title. After you have uploaded the PDFs and all of your evidence, you can review your application. If there is a place in the form that needs your attention, you will see a red alert and you will not be able to submit the form until it is resolved. You will see this green alert when the form is complete. In the review screen, you can use the blue print button to download a printable version of your completed form. You can also view your PDF from the link under that heading. You can still go back and change your answers or add more evidence. After you are satisfied that your form is complete, at the bottom of the page, you will select Next. You must read and agree to the certification. You must provide your electronic signature by typing your full legal name in the space provided. The system will then affix your electronic signature and date to your uploaded form. After you select Next, the system will process your digital signature. You can view it by using the link provided and then attest that you have reviewed your signature by checking the box. After you select Submit the PDF upload of I-765, you will receive a confirmation which will not include a receipt number. If you did not request a fee waiver, you will be taken to pay.gov, a secure government website where you can make your payment. After you do that, you'll be brought back to your online account. The acceptance of your form might take up to 30 days while it is being evaluated. During this time, you will see this view in your online account and you will not have a receipt number. If your form is rejected, the case status will change to this view with a date of the rejection. You will be sent a notice in the mail detailing the reasons why your form has been rejected. You may resubmit your PDF with payment or with an updated fee waiver request when you are ready. If your form is accepted, you will see a case card in your online account. The receipt number will be visible there, but will not appear among the other documents in your case card. The receipt will be sent through the mail only. All other notices will be sent both through the mail and will appear in your case card. Here are some important reminders. Your Form I-912 or fee waiver statement must be signed or it will be rejected. The system will not electronically sign your Form I-912. You must do that downloading and signing the form by hand, then uploading it to your device. You must sign your request for a fee waiver. If you do not include the mandatory evidence for your fee waiver request, your form will be rejected. Please submit all the evidence required. A rejection letter or a receipt indicating that your application has been accepted will arrive only in the mail and will not be posted in your online account. We hope this has been helpful. Thank you for filing online. Okay, that was a whole lot, and I'm sure that you have some questions. Before I move on to this I-131F question, I just want to tell you about a couple of things that I saw. I told you in the video, for example, that when you use this process, you'll see a space for additional evidence that isn't in the view now. And that's why we have a soft launch, so that we can see things that need to be added or things that have been missed. And then while I was watching it, I saw on the very last screen, it said, after you submit your form, you'll receive a receipt number. Obviously, that's not going to say that. I recorded these screens about a week ago, and probably that's already been updated, because you won't receive a receipt number when you submit the form online. It might take up to 30 days for acceptance of the form. And then if it is accepted, you'll receive a receipt number, and you'll see that change in your case card, and you'll receive the notice only in the mail. We'll answer other questions you have about that process at the end of this, this presentation. So right now I'm going to move forward a little bit and talk about keeping families together. That's what our last Tech Talk was all about. Application for parole in place for certain non-citizen spouses and stepchildren of U.S. citizens, the Form I-131F. And we did receive some questions about that process. And one was, is there a website where I can find information about keeping families together, about that process? I need to know what's required and how to file. The first and best place to start, of course, is on our website at the address on the screen. I have an overview of that website on the next slide, and I'm just going to talk while it moves. The page is going to scroll a little bit. We have the latest information about the process at the top. And here you can see alerts about the administrative hold, and then scrolling down, you can see that there are accordion menus with information such as eligibility, what to expect after filing, how to contact USCIS, among other things. We have a link to the FAQ page, several places, so you'll always be able to find it. When you follow that link, you find all the frequently asked questions about keeping families together. And it's also arranged in easy to navigate accordion files. Honestly, there's so much information here. I can't imagine that you have a question that isn't addressed. Whenever I feel like I'm not fully up to speed on a process and I need to talk about it, I read these FAQ files. They're wonderful. Categories in here are also like continuous physical presence, so that you can get some ideas of the kind of evidence that would fulfill that, things about employment authorization, probably everything you need to know. And you can use the menu on the left to go back to the first page. It's really easy to navigate using those menus. There are also tips to protect yourself from scams, and I hope that you have time to read that as well. Our website, our USCIS.gov website, I'm going to show you a couple of different things there in this presentation. And I think it's one of the easier government agency websites to use because of the way we use these accordion files and drop-down menus. I hope that you agree after you see more. Another question we received was, does USCIS want the 10 years of continuous physical presence evidence divided up among categories like they're listed in the drop-down menu, or would the agency prefer just 2 or 3 packets of continuous physical presence in chronological order? And that's a really good question. You know, what's the best way to submit multiple pieces of evidence? And we usually say to upload pieces of evidence individually so that the title describes the contents. That way the officer knows what it is at a glance, and it makes adjudicating the form easier for them, maybe even a little quicker. If there are different types of evidence in one file, though, then the title can't really describe everything that's in there, and it'll take longer to look through it. So let's look at the evidence menu in the online form. And as you can see, there are a lot of categories of evidence suggested, but you're able to upload as many files as you need, 5 at a time, no larger than 12 megabytes, like we said in the video. If we select the Evidence of Continuous Physical Presence tab, you can see that there's a lot of narrative there to guide you. And you'll notice that you probably need to upload a lot of files. So for something like continuous physical presence, if you're uploading several years of tax returns, for example, or utility bills, we don't have a rule. I'm not going to tell you you have to do it like this. But I think if the file was all utility bills, then it would be okay to put several of those into one file, you know, as long as you don't exceed the maximum file size of 12 megabytes. And then, or you could do that with taxes, several years of tax returns in one file if they fit. And then you could title the file Taxes 2004, 2008, or something similar like that, short, descriptive. But remember to keep the file title requirements in mind. And I want to show you those one more time, even though you just saw them. The key is clear and readable. So make the title of your file something that's really descriptive. And we don't allow special characters like apostrophes. So if you put Jana's, apostrophe-esque tax returns, that title would probably be rejected, and you would have to adjust it. The other thing I wanted to give you is a kind of an anecdote about the file requirements, and that is we discovered that some people were using keyboards that were enabled for other languages like Spanish, and Spanish allows tildes and accent marks, and our system can't recognize those. So it's not that you can't use a foreign word in the title, it's that it has to be in English language characters only. And I'm sorry, the system won't recognize that. So if you're having problems, also maybe check to see if your other foreign language keyboard is enabled while you're trying to make those titles. That might have something to do with it. We're all about problem solving. We've had questions about the G28 that I would like to go over, two in particular. The first is, if the G28 is withdrawn by the client, will the submitted application be removed from the representative's online account, but remain on the client's applicant portal? And the simple answer to that is yes, that's exactly what happens. When the client withdraws the G28 and severs the relationship between the legal representative and the client, then any work done for that client, it's not going to appear in the legal rep account, but it's going to remain in the client's account. The second question was, if a client filed an application before the option of filing through a representative account, meaning if they just filed it on their own, can that account now be added to the attorney's account? We're going to talk more about that too. Can a G28 be added to a pending case electronically, or must it be done by paper filing? You can add a standalone G28 to a case that has already been filed by the client. First, you would add the client in your online account using the exact same email address that the client used to establish their account. Then you would file a form and select your G28. You would need to provide the receipt number, the client's name, the email address, and I already mentioned the client's email. Oh, if the client had an attorney already associated with that case, before you do any of this, they would need to withdraw that old G28 so that you can add yours. But to answer this question succinctly, can a Form G28 be added to a pending case that the client already filed? Yes, of course. They can always add attorneys or change attorneys. Notifications. This was last asked at the last Tech Talk and we didn't get to it. I think the question was, how do we receive a notification that a notice is available for viewing? And will this notification be sent via email, or are we expected to check daily for notices? Right now, applicants will receive email alerts informing them that a change has been made in their account when notices are available. For representative accounts, for now, you need to check the account daily for any updates or changes that have occurred. We had notifications earlier this year and they weren't working out the way that we or the legal representatives wanted and preferred. So we've pulled that back and we're working on making something that works better for you. Thanks for your patience while we get that ready. We continue to receive questions about paper cases linking to the legal representative account. And there was a question, there were several questions submitted today in advance, but one of them said, is there any way to add a case or a client to my account using the create a new account notice? USCIS almost invariably sends a new account notice instead of adding the case to my account, even though I provided my account number. By now, it's knowledge, pretty much everyone I speak to knows that it's essential to have the information in your online account, in your profile, exactly match the information on your G28. The best chance of those cases linking is going to be if that information is an exact match and the account number is included on the application. There are times though when the case isn't going to link up, and we're working on that. We recently put in a fix that has resulted in much better matching. You'll see that you don't get as many of those notices going forward. But in case you get a notice like this, let me walk you through some steps that will get the case in your legal representative account. The first thing that needs to happen is your client needs to add the paper case to their own online account. If the case isn't in their account, you won't be able to add your G28 to it. If the case in the client's account is associated with any G28, withdraw it. The client has to go into their account, go to that case card and withdraw any associated G28. Now it's your turn. The legal representative checks the list of clients. Add that client if you need to. Remember to use the exact same email address that the client used to set up their account. I know I say that a lot. It's because that's where people stumble a lot of the time. So I'm going to keep saying it a lot. Once you do that, select File a Form, choose G28, and use the receipt number to add your G28 to that case. You're going to be asked all those questions about your G28 if you want us to autofill it, and you're going to go through those steps for the client electronic handshake. And then the case card, once that's done and the client accepts you, the case card should appear in your account. And here's what I'm going to ask from you, because we're not just reaching out, you're reaching in. If you use this method, if you try these steps, we would like to know your experience. If you would please kindly send us an email to the outreach mailbox and let me know your experience using this method. And we really appreciate your help. We also received this question at the last Tech Talk. Does an applicant require an attorney to submit the I-131F for them? Can they submit one for themselves? And I just want to reiterate that applicants can submit any form online or on paper by themselves. There's never a requirement to hire a legal representative. So another question we received had to do with, correcting errors and technical help, and those kinds of questions roll in pretty regularly. And this question that I grabbed to use for our presentation today was, if your client's verified date of birth is incorrect, how do you correct it? Or do you file the application with the incorrect date of birth? And the best thing to do is to use our self-help tools for this problem in particular, but I'll show you a lot of ways to get help. Let me show you the self-help tools on the next slide. The link at the top is a list of self-help tools. When you go to that link, you see 6 tiles with actions that you can take. And you can use our self-service tools to correct an error. You might hear this called an e-request. We call it a self-service tool. Other helpful self-service tools include how to check if a case is outside of normal processing times, if you think you didn't receive a notice that you should have gotten in the mail, if you didn't receive an EAD or a green card or some other card and you think it might be lost or missing, that's a self-service inquiry. Or you think there might be a document that you didn't receive, or if you need an accommodation for an interview appointment, or like you see here on the screen, for a typographical error. You don't need an online account to use any of these self-service tools, but you will need a receipt number, an A number if applicable, the date when it was filed, the email address, and be ready to succinctly describe the error so that we can understand exactly what the problem is and decide how we can best help you. And this is a really good time to go over how to find technical help and other types of assistance. If you need to report a technical issue with your online account, from the home page of your online account, you can select the link to go to the Request for Account Help form. This is brand new. If you're thinking, I've never seen that before, it's because you haven't. We just rolled it out. The self-service tools you just saw are on our website, and you can use them without an online account. This form to request help with a technical issue is in the online account, and you find it on your homepage after you log in. You'll be brought to this form. It can be used for questions about resetting your password, unlocking your account, changing your verification code delivery method, requesting a new online access code, or if you are experiencing a technical issue in your USCIS online account. On the following page of the form, after you fill out this part, you'll be asked to fill in your name, your email address, phone number, date of birth, zip code, A number, and receipt number if you have them. So be ready to provide all that information if you're going to use this form. Another way to find help is to send a message from your online account. If you filed a form or you have a case receipt number that starts with IOE, you just log into your USCIS online account, and from the My Account drop-down menu at the top of the page, you can go to your inbox. This is the first thing you see, and please do read through the information provided on this page. You might find that you can answer your question by using our self-help tools. And this narrative describes some of the things that we just went over. If you want to, you can send a message about a specific form that you have filed. You'll enter the receipt number, select your issue from the drop-down menu, and indicate if you'd be willing to receive a text message, and then select send, and we will contact you. You can use our self-help tools, as I said, to get answers faster. I keep coming back to the self-help tools because sometimes you want to know what you need now. You don't want to send a message and have to wait, and then maybe you miss a call. We have processes in place to keep that from happening, but you know what I mean. You want to know what you want to know, and you want it now. And plus, we have a large volume of inquiries. It might take us longer than expected to respond to your message. So before sending us a message, see if your question can be answered using self-help tools. I just want to show you that on our USCIS.gov homepage, you can go to Tools right there at the top of the menu, and it'll take you to this screen where you can see all kinds of resources. There are links to things I've told you about already and things that I haven't, like change of address. If you go to the USCIS Tools and Resources, you're going to see all of these links, and they include things that you might not expect, like how to find a doctor or how to find a citizenship class in your area, in addition to the self-help tools that I went over. I think that if you can take 10 minutes just to explore that top toolbar on our website, you'll find things that you weren't expecting, but that will help you when you do your online filing. And that's all that I have prepared for today. So I'm going to pause here and ask Natasha if we can go through the questions that have been submitted while I was talking.
Thank you everyone for all your questions. I see there are a lot of questions about the PDF intake filing option. We will be announcing a national engagement on this topic soon. Also saw there were some questions about whether today's engagement is being recorded. It is being recorded and it will be shared on the USCIS YouTube channel and to the electronic reading room. And you can continue to submit questions with us by entering them into the Q&A box at the right-hand corner of the webinar platform. If we can't answer it today, we will review them after the engagement. And now, Quinn, I'll ask the first couple of questions to you. If a person opened a USCIS account online and did not remember to add the account number to a paper filing, how does that individual connect the paper filing to his or her existing USCIS account?
Okay, thank you. Well, we're talking about an individual account, and when an individual applicant account is new and no forms have been filed in it or added to it, it doesn't have an account number. So if you just open the account, but you really haven't done anything and then you file a paper form, there's not going to be an account number to put on it. When you file a paper form, you should include it if you have it. But if you don't have it, we'll send you a receipt notice and then another notice with an online access code. An individual can log into their account and then select Add a Paper Case and use the online access code to add the paper case to their online account. In the Legal Rep account, the only time you can add paper cases is when you set up the account. And after that, you can't add paper cases. And you should be sure to put the account number on any paper cases that you do file. And I refer back to some of the things we just talked about. We've had a whole lot of information about linking cases today.
The next question is, I filed an I-130 online in July 2024. On September 12, 2024, I was removed from the case as an attorney and the client's case disappeared from my online account. I called the service center and they said my G28 was an old version, so I was removed. I explained that I filled it out online, so no version, and the existing version is from 2018. The person I was speaking to could not speak to me any further since I was no longer the attorney of record. How do I reconnect myself with this filing? Why would I have been removed in the first place?
I'm sure that you would really like to know why you were removed in the first place, but unfortunately, I can't speak to that. I don't know why the original G28 was removed. But I would ask if you have tried to add your G28 in your online account, like we just went through. Your client just needs to confirm that there's no attorney associated with the filing, and then try to add your G28 as we just described and walked through a couple of times. And then after that, you should have the case again. And please, like I asked, let us know how that works for you. Let us know how your experience is with that.
Thank you, Quinn. And now I have a question for Katie McGuire of the Office of Access and Information Services. Katie, email notifications to representatives do not currently include any indication for which client had an update. No indication of a recent update is given when logging into the account either. Is there a plan to update this so we can see which case had recent action taken?
Hello, everyone. The short answer, yes. We're aware there is a need for representatives to have an easier way to identify which cases have the most recent case status update, as well as to have the option to receive email notifications when there's a change. So we are looking into how we can improve this experience, and we hope to have more information to share soon.
Thanks, Katie. And now back to you, Quinn. I am having trouble editing my attorney profile to include my phone number and automatic responses through the Need Help technical site. It produces non-responsive and irrelevant replies. What other recourses available?
Okay, that sounds really frustrating, and I'm sorry that you had replies that didn't answer your inquiry. I kind of wish I was just leaning over your shoulder saying, click this, click that. But in your online account, go to My Account at the top toolbar, then select My Profile. You can use the blue Edit Profile button and then scroll down and change your phone number. While you're in this screen, if you look at the contact information paragraph that's just above that, you'll see a link to your account settings. In that menu, you can add or change your cell phone number. Please take a look at all that. I hope that helps. If not, then please send a message for technical assistance from your online account, like we just demonstrated in the presentation.
Thanks, Quinn. And now a question for Kirsten Jager. Kirsten, under the Welcome to your USCIS account page, which button should I click to start filing the M400 form? Options presented to me on the website are Edit My Account in for First, E-Verify plus My USCIS, My E-Verify.
Good afternoon, everybody. So once you're on that page setting up your new account, in order to get into the My USCIS portion of your online account, obviously select the My USCIS option. That's going to take you into My USCIS, where all of our online filed forms are available.
Thanks, Kirsten. And now a question for Drew Geary. Please explain how to file an AR11 online if the client doesn't have a USCIS account.
So we strongly encourage applicants to create online accounts. However, representatives can use their own online account to submit a change of address for the client, even if the client does not have an online account.
Thanks, Drew. And now another question for Katie. I've been trying to pay the filing fee online for over a week, but the online payment system seems to have some general issue with processing payments of any kind through the pay, both credit card and bank transfer. Are you aware of this ongoing issue?
Yes, we are aware, and we apologize about this ongoing issue. Pay.gov is experiencing some intermittent issues, and they are working on a resolution. In the meantime, they did advise that customers can try some workarounds, which include using a cell phone and using the device's cellular data instead of Wi-Fi, or using a computer and connecting to a hotspot. So those are some workarounds that if you're experiencing this, you can try while Pay.gov is working to resolve this, hopefully very soon.
Thank you, Katie. And now another question for Kirsten. Can the I-912 PDF be submitted with the M400 naturalization application if submitting online as well?
Hello again. Yeah, at this time, the I-912 PDF is only available for online submission in connection with the I-765 categories that are available for PDF upload. So again, right now, I-912 can only be submitted online with the I-765 categories that are available for PDF filing online.
Can I interject for a second?
Of course.
There was a question that I didn't answer fast enough. Number 20, it said the video included C19 as a category eligible, but the initial intro did not. So I can't check that right now, but I'll go back to it. But let me just reiterate, the eligibility categories that are available right now are C08, C9, C11, C19, and A12. I hope that helps.
Yes, Drew, I'll ask you number 32, and that will be our last question since we're a little over time already. Drew, folks who do not request a fee waiver can still submit I-765 through the online form, correct? And for folks who do request a fee waiver, they must submit a PDF version of the I-765?
Yes, that's correct. Form I-765 is still available for online filing. And if you want to request a fee waiver with your I-765 filing, you can either use the PDF intake option that was introduced today, or you could submit the packet by paper.
Great. Thank you, Drew, and to all our subject matter experts for answering those questions. We will review the many questions we did not have time to address, and we'll probably address many of them in the next Tech Talk. You can find more information about that on the Public Engagement Outreach page and National Engagement page. I put the link to that in the Q&A box, and we look forward to engaging with you in November. Thank you.
Thanks very much.